Judge, this is the case, Mr. Wilson.
Okay, thank you. You all may be seated. Mr. Wilson, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here today to request that the court reduce my child support that I currently pay my ex-wife. Currently, I pay $800 a month, but up until last year, I worked for the city, and now I'm currently self-employed, and I make considerably less money. So I was requesting that my child support be lowered to reflect that.
Before we go any further, where is Mrs. White?
I don't know.
You sent her notice that she was supposed to be here today, right?
Yes, she was served.
Okay. So, I guess she didn't understand how serious this was today. All right. So, you said that you used to work for the city.
Yes.
And now you're self-employed.
Yes, I am.
And what do you do self-employed?
Judge Thunderbeat opens the session with Mr. Wilson seeking a reduction in child support, citing a major income drop after leaving his city job to start a tow truck business. But here's the twist. Mrs. White, despite being served notice, is a no-show. Will her absence impact the ruling, or will Mr. Wilson get the financial relief he's hoping for? Let's find out.
I own a tow truck business company.
Okay. Are you making more money or less money now?
I'm making less money. I have a lot more expenses being self-employed, but I make less money.
All right, all right. So based on what you provided to the court, you have some receipts
Yes, I do.
showing what you pay and what daycare expenses. I also see a 1099 here that you have from workers. You have what, 2 employees?
Yes.
Then I'm also seeing a tax return here. Based on this tax return, I have your earnings. It has gone down. It has gone down. I have you at about $3,700 now.
Yes, that's about right. I make about $47,000 a year.
All right. So you say you pay $200 a month in health insurance
For him, yes.
and this is for him only, full coverage for only him, not you and him.
Yeah, it's about, with both of us, it's about $450.
Okay. Just want to make sure because you don't get any credit for yourself. It's only credit for health insurance for your son. You understand that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Wilson presents his case, explaining that his income took a hit after leaving his city job for self-employment in the tow truck business. He's asking for a reduction in child support from $800 to a more reasonable amount, and backs it up with tax returns, receipts, and a 1099 form. But here's the kicker. Mrs. White isn't present to dispute his claims. Will this be an easy win for Mr. Wilson, or will the judge take a closer look at his financials? The courtroom is silent, but the stakes couldn't be higher.
Based on that, I have your net and giving you credit for the $200 that you pay in health insurance for your son. Comes out to about $2,834.23, which would bring your new child support amount to $566.85. Okay?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson, I do appreciate you being here today and being timely. Thank you. I didn't want you to think that just because Mrs. White decided not to show up today for court, that the court could not move forward. Because in Texas courts, once you are served, you're on notice with a hearing, you have to appear. And if you do not appear, the other side who's bringing the case does still have the opportunity to ask the court for some sort of relief. So you're here today asking for your child support to be reduced. You submitted evidence to support your...
Judge Thunderbeat isn't rushing this decision. She carefully examines Mr. Wilson's tax returns, expenses, and health insurance payments, confirming his income has dropped to $37,000 a year. After crunching the numbers, she adjusts his child support to $566.85 per month, a significant reduction from the original $800. She also makes an important clarification. Mr. Wilson can only claim credit for the $200 he pays toward his son's health insurance, not his own. This ruling highlights how courts ensure fairness and accuracy when modifying child support, proving once again that the details matter.
The opportunity to be here and contest whatever it was that you submitted in court, your 1099s, your tax return, even some of the receipts that you provided. But it was a missed opportunity for her because she decided not to come to court. So in the future, whenever you need to come back to court, maybe to change your order, life change or something like that, just make sure that you always send notice to that other person, because you are able to still receive some sort of relief although they fail to show up, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything further?
No.
Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. You are dismissed.
The judge officially reduces Mr. Wilson's child support to 560 cigars, 85 per month. But she doesn't stop there. She takes a moment to stress a key legal lesson. If you're served notice and don't show up, the court can still rule without you. Mrs. White's absence didn't stall the case. Mr. Wilson's solid evidence was enough to secure the reduction. She also reminds Mr. Wilson about the importance of proper legal notice, even when the other party refuses to appear. This case isn't just about child support. It's a crash course in courtroom accountability.
Bailey, and I'm coming to you as the lawyer this time. We have arrived at the educational portion of our show. I just wanted to go over what this segment would cover and how the different scenarios interact with child support under Texas law. I was served to be at a hearing for child support court, but I failed to show up. What happens in that case? Well, let me explain to you what happens in support court with Judge Vonda B. You will receive what's called a default judgment. That's right. As well as in many courts in Texas, if you do not appear after you have been served with a notice of a hearing, you will be defaulted by the court. What does default mean? Default means that whatever the relief that the person who brought the lawsuit was requesting, the court has the discretion to give them that very relief. Now, you do still have to put on your testimony. You still have to provide evidence to the court. The court just won't take your word for it and say, okay, you need a reduction in child support, I'm just going to reduce it. That's not the case. You still are required to put on your evidence. So just keep in mind that although you do not show up for court, the court can still move forward on a case.
The video takes an educational turn as lawyer Vonda Bailey breaks down the legal consequences of missing a court hearing. She explains that in Texas, failing to appear after being served can lead to a default judgment, meaning the court can rule in favor of the party who showed up. However, she clarifies that it's not an automatic win. The present party must still provide solid evidence to support their claims. This segment ties everything together, offering practical advice for viewers who might find themselves in similar legal situations. The video wraps up with a call to action, encouraging viewers to subscribe and share their experiences. It's a powerful reminder that the courtroom isn't just about legal battles. It's about fairness, responsibility, and the well-being of families.